Hello, my name is Claire, and we are here today to talk about the Safeguarding Support Officer Level 3 Apprenticeship. If I can introduce
Morgan Appleton. I'm a skills and development coach for dynamic training. I teach all the levels in health and social care, and I will be also delivering the safeguarding level 3. My background is I was a care manager for years. Most recently, I cared for service users that had acquired brain injuries that lived in the community. So lots and lots of safeguarding was involved in that because they had complex needs, both physically and behaviour. So there was lots of safeguarding involved within that care management of those service users.
Amazing. Thank you, Morgan. Okay, so the questions that I'm going to ask you are really sort of thinking about the learner experience and practical insights. Yep. So the first question is, from your experience, what skills make someone effective in safeguarding, and how will this apprenticeship help develop them?
Perfect. So I think to be confident in safeguarding, I think you first need to have that communication skills, because you're going to be working within a lot of range of people and dealing with complex and delicate situations. So I think having that compassion and those people skills is essential, and I think this apprenticeship can then develop their understanding of safeguarding to build on them core skills that they have to have. So their overall awareness of that safeguarding approach, and the fact that with safeguarding it's about that prevention rather than reaction. So that I think the apprenticeship will build on those skills to give them that awareness of safeguarding as a whole.
Amazing, thank you. What do you enjoy most about coaching learners in safeguarding?
So I think it's building on that last point. I think it's about those little things. It's about them knowing that all the things they do are safeguarding. It's an umbrella. It's not, it's a massive, there's lots of different things involved. So your record taking, your note taking and the quality of those notes, your care planning and that updating of care plans, even down to like your staff. So your supervisions and your appraisals and that empowering staff. All those little things build into that safeguarding, and it's that I enjoy the learners realising that actually that's what safeguarding's about, not dealing with the emergency at the end.
Brilliant. So it's that sort of developing that culture, and the bigger picture sort of thing.
Absolutely, that prevention again, rather than reacting to a situation. Think of the amount of things that we actually prevent through safeguarding rather than reacting to something that happens, which we can't always avoid.
Amazing. Thank you, Morgan. How will learners be supported to apply what they learn directly into their day-to-day roles?
So I think with a teaching stance, I think we could do lots with like case studies and reflective accounts, so that they can really learn how the learning that we're giving them relates to their real life. These learners are in a safeguarding role. That's part of the apprenticeship. They're not looking to go into one, they're in one. So I think we can really build on that, their process and their procedure whilst they're learning, and kind of go back to that point I made before, where they can get that greater awareness of safeguarding, and right down to like their local policies and procedures, their community safeguarding, and also safeguarding on the whole across the country, and their requirements to that, what they need to do to ensure safeguarding's happening.
Brilliant, thank you. Can you share a moment from your safeguarding work that showed you the importance of getting safeguarding right?
Can indeed. So I had worked with a client, and he had a brain injury but through stroke, so through a very, very complex illness, and he was a very sad situation that he wasn't very old at all. He had very short life expectancy, and he'd been a bit of a wheeler dealer, lads, and all of a sudden he was basically bedridden and had very little life expectancy and quality of life, and he decided to make several very, very unwise decisions, and it led to a massive multidisciplinary proceeding where we had to run an investigation and had lots of teams involved, both medically and like social workers. And during this MDT, his own wishes, needs and wishes were really taken into account. He had a massive voice himself. And whilst it could be exceptionally difficult, to put it lightly, that made the difference. That actually, whilst this was an unwise decision, it's what he wanted. It was probably the only thing he wanted. And so actually, in the end, it was allowed to go ahead, even though it wasn't that safe. And it was definitely unwise for him. But it just really brought to my attention that we make unwise decisions every day as individuals, so why shouldn't everybody? And if he didn't have a house of carers, he would be able to make that without anybody ever knowing. So I think that should be taken into account, and that's why their multidisciplinary team, like investigations, are so important.
Brilliant, thank you, Morgan. And that really aligns to following the 6 principles of safeguarding, which of course people can learn about if they come and do the safeguarding support officer with us at Dynamic.
Absolutely.
Amazing, thank you.